All right, good morning. See here, Sun SUNW. It's kind of an ugly flag, but there's a flag there at the moment. Watching CPE. It's kind of made a double bottom here. Kind of creeping back up to pre-market high. KNDI. It's going to be running into some serious resistance at 8. If it breaks 8, it could get moving. So UAVS just cracked down, so nothing there. HOFV. Not a public offering, so nothing there. ATHE kind of in this downtrend. It's got to get back over 325 or up to 325. Oh, and SunW just cracked out of that. From what I'm noticing, from what I'm looking at so far, I'm seeing a lot of stocks just cracking. That's not really anything I want to trade. There's not a lot of volume on this, but it's consolidating sideways. Let's see, CBAT. Getting close to a possible downtrend break here. Let's see, what's the SPY looking like? SPY's kind of bouncing up and down at the moment. I'm not seeing anything that is super amazing. Like, oh, I want to jump into this. Like maybe if ATHE can get back up towards $3. Yeah, if it can get back up towards 3. Because once it gets over 3, it doesn't have a ton of resistance. You got this triangle right now that it's in, but still a little too early to try to make a play there. All these downtrend triangle possible plays. AHT. AHT is a little interesting because it's got a bit bigger of a triangle, but have to break over that 450 area. Does have some room. Kind of getting a little bit of a cup and handle here on CPE. This is a petroleum stock. Relatively low float. It's got the 100-day at 771. And that pre-market high at 727. It is kind of starting to look like a cup and handle. We'll see what happens there. SUNWM taking off. This looks like it's done. CBAT getting close. And this is above all indicators. Way up here at the top of this chart. And that 850 was the high of the year. But it is coming up to the downtrend. If it breaks back over 8, maybe something there. Not a ton of volume on it though. KNDI. And doesn't have any news or anything. Getting hung up at 775 3 times on the 1 minute. It's be a possible play there. Let's see what we got going on here. HPR getting a little quick pop so far. Which one is it going to be? We got a couple of them getting a little active. CBAT's the closest one to the downtrend at the moment. It's just so far high, it's just so high up on the chart. It's the only thing that concerns me, but it could, you know, pre-market was all the way up at 1074, so it does have plenty of room. See, it's going to be resistance at 840 and 850 and 875. So there's going to be resistance along the way if it does start to break this downtrend here. See, it's testing it right now. Watch this closely for a second here because it is getting close. Like it might start breaking out. I'm going. So I got filled at 804. A little higher than I wanted. Volume starting to ramp up here. It's got to break through 8 though. It's testing 8 right now. There we go, starting to pop through 8 here. Let's see where we gotta run into. 850 is gonna be the next resistance. holding over 8, but we want to close over 8. You can see it's coming back down, and let's see 8 hold as support. You see buyers are coming in right there above 8. But we want to see this 5-minute candle close over 8. So nice, so show nice strong support there at 8 if it closes. Oh, and see we're dropping back down again. See, this is testing that $8 support. Okay, buyers coming back in over 8. That's what we want to keep seeing. We do not want this to crack below 8. Yeah, more buyers coming in right there above 8. Really need to stop testing 8 though. This buyer's trying to hold it up, but it's getting a little questionable. So downtrend on the 1 minute that we need to see break here soon. This little sell off. See, where's the 9 at? The 9's at 772. That's pretty low down there. We're getting pushed on this 5-minute candle. We're getting pushed back below the downtrend, so that's not good. This needs to start coming back up. You see buyers come back in right now and push this over 8. Got about almost a minute on this 5-minute candle. You see there, it was starting to try to break that downtrend, but now it's starting to ride down the downtrend, which is not what we want. We want that downtrend to break real soon. See 8 acting as resistance again. A bunch of sellers sitting there, so this has got to break through that $8 soon. Get back through it. Take out all those sellers, or this is going to come back down. Testing that 8. Still a lot of sellers sitting there. We got 10 seconds on this candle. It needs to get over 8. There it goes. Looks like we might get this close over 8 after all. Maybe. It closed right at 8. So it's a little indecision, but we are popping up a little bit there. That little downtrend is broken at the moment. There on the 1 minute. So let's see if 8 can continue to hold its support here. Now I kind of got this little downtrend on the 1 minute. Still not holding 8, so that's a little sketchy. It's really struggling at this $8 area. See, on the 1 minute, we kind of got a flag there forming, so you see us pop back over 8 soon, and then really get over 810 and start holding 810 as support if it's really going to start moving. Well, it looks like it might crack here. What is it? EGAN? Let me throw it on my watch list over here. I'll take a look at it in a second. Right now, I'm kind of in a critical area of this trade where I need to see this pop back over 8 here. A little critical resistance area. See, 8 still holding as resistance. You can see all these sellers sitting there. There we go. And now it's popped over. Got through those sellers. So we're still showing a little strength, but we're consolidating right now. A little indecision. A little tug of war right now, back and forth between buyers and sellers to decide which way this stock is going to go at the moment. See, still sellers at 805. Like I said, the high of the year is 850, so this is really high up. But pre-market high. There we go, starting to pop a little, popping out of that triangle. Now we're starting to move. Starting to move a little bit. Oops. All the way up to 825. Ooh, big pop there, all the way up to 830 something. Like I said, 850. That's the next line of really strong resistance. It's the high of the year. So that area is going to be really tough. We're pushing. We're getting close to it, though. We're pushing up right now. A lot of sellers. Oh, we're right through 850. There was a lot of sellers. They got taken out. We did pop right through it real quick. Now pushing back down a little bit. There's going to be a lot of selling pressures. Did we make a new high? Yeah, I think we did. We made a new high a year. There at 855. You can see we're right at this resistance right now, this 850 area. See if volume keeps coming in and this can break over that 850. If it breaks over that 850, a good strong break, and that starts holding that support, we could see this up to 9. Maybe even higher. Just testing at 850. There's sellers sitting there. They're slowly getting taken out, though. Bunch of them at 855 at the high of the new high we just made. Bunch of sellers sitting there. Trying to hold this down right now. But if 850 starts holding that support, you can see it's trying. We may be off to the races. Yeah, look at here. Breaking over that all the way up to 870. See if we can get up to 9. If we can get up to 9, I'm probably going to lock it out there. See, what are we running into right here? 870. A little bit. Yeah, there's a little resistance right here in this 875 area. I don't think that'll hold up as much resistance. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, there's not a ton of sellers. I mean, there's some selling right here in this area, but there's not a ton sitting on 875 or anything. There is some selling pressure, though. It's struggling to get above that 875. Volume kind of indecisive right now. You can see the volume bar starting to. That one turned red a little bit of a sell-off. But that was a nice move there from $8 all the way up to 870. That's a 70-cent move. We're getting a pretty decent sell-off here. I mean, we are off of the 9. The 9's down here at $8. So we got this little sell-off downtrend right here that needs to break again. So this is a double top. It's kind of looking like a double top maybe here on the 5 minute. So we may pull back down to that $8 area. $8.35 trying to hold us some support, so maybe that'll try to hold. Yeah, if it can hold $8.35, see we push back up to 6 or $8.50 there, hitting that downtrend line. So it's got to break over that. It's got to break this little bit of short-term selling here. So 875 was more resistance than I thought it was going to be. 850 was actually easier resistance to break than the 875s. And so, you know, you never really know how things are going to go. Just got to kind of go with the flow here. Flow with this price action. But we need to see us break over this downtrend soon. Let's see, you can see 850 actually still got some sellers there sitting. Okay, there it goes. 855 got some sellers sitting there too. $8.50 trying to start holding that support. Got about a minute and a half on this 5 minute candle. May possibly starting to flag a little bit. See 855 still holding up as resistance. That new high year we hit earlier. There we go. Now we're starting to pop. Breaking that little downtrend. Oh, here we go. Popping through 875. See 875 starting to hold us, trying to get a little support there. 880 some resistance. See, we got 20 seconds for this candle to close. If it closes over 850, this 5 minute candle, it should be good to go here. And this 850 area still acting as some resistance. You see our seller sitting at 855. He got taken out. We gonna pop up to 9 or not? I'm holding to see if we're gonna get to 9. But we're still in this area. All this 850, 855 resistance and 875. This may be getting ready to pop here. Buying volume starts coming in a little bit more. This may get ready to pop. Ooh, big pullback there. Okay, so maybe not. Pop to the downside a little bit. Kind of getting a big, ooh, yeah, big drop out of nowhere there. So getting a little sketchy. We hit the 9 EMA and bounced off. So I was drawing that. I was looking for it to hold that little mini trend line, but pretty decent pullback after that initial little run. And we really don't have a pattern at the moment. So we just want to make sure this holds above the 9 EMA and preferably closes above 820. See, 830 starting to act as a little resistance. We definitely still have some more selling pressure after this little sell-off. That was a pretty quick, steep sell-off there. We did get a good bounce off the 9. We got about a minute and 20 seconds for this candle to close. I do not like this though. This little ugly looking pattern here. It's the bottom of that little down of this little uptrend cracks. This is going to come back down some more. You can see that is not. We want to see it start popping up. We don't want it to be down here on this little downtrend on the 1 minute. I'm sorry, uptrend. So a lot of times after a big red candle, if you start to get a little pattern like this where the buyers struggle to push it up anymore, you see another big drop right after. I'm a little concerned about that right now because that's what this little pattern looks like. It really needs to push up. Needs to get over at 836 area. Or we're going to have another sell-off here. Looking real sketchy. See, we're back to the 9 at 811. See, it's even starting to curl over a little bit too. If it doesn't get back above 830 here soon, we're going to pull all the way back down to the 9. Buy-in volume at the moment a little light. Take that little uptrend out. You can see the top of this new downtrend on the 5 minute. It's all the way up at 860, so it's got a ways to go to get back up there. Well, a decent sized buyer just came in there at 834. So we might start getting some buying back in here. Little resistance, little selling at 840. Oh, he got taken out. That big buyer at 10,000 shares at the 834. Yeah, I don't like the fact this is struggling at 830. At 830 and 840, it's struggling to hold 830 as support, and it's struggling to break through 840 as resistance. It needs to break through that 840 real soon. Sellers are trying to hold it down at the moment. Sellers and shorters trying to win the overall battle. So we got a minute and 15 seconds on this 5-minute candle. Really like to see us close over 840. If it doesn't close over 840, it's going to be a little sketchy. See sellers sitting at 835 now. They're really trying to hold us down. So you see there, we hit 840 again on the ask, and as soon as we did, pushed right back down. That's what I don't like to see. I want to see us break through another big buyer, 836. There we go. Okay, here we go. Now we're looking back in the game a little bit. Got a quick pop all the way up to 860. Right to that downtrend. See, 850. Let's see 850 start trying to hold us support again. Oh, we're starting to look a little nice here. We might get to $9 after all, possibly. If we keep buying volume keeps increasing here. Bigger buyers starting to come in at these higher prices, which we did not really see much before. See, where's the tops of these two bodies? 866, and that's where we're breaking through right now. Oh, here we go, popping all the way up to 844. See what we look like up here at 9. Still still struggling with that 880 area. It's trying its best. Keeps trying its best to get the 9. Just chugging and getting closer and closer. Got the 888. Quick little pop. See, you need to see more buyers come in and push this to 9. $880. There we go. Here we go. So we're consolidating a little right here before 9. 890 has some sellers. And we're pulling back down again here. See, there's definitely still some selling pressure. Sellers keep sitting at 880 trying to hold it down, and then another pullback, of course. We are still slowly climbing up this. Yeah, 9 is going to be tough. 9 is definitely going to be tough. If we could just get there, if we could just get the 9, it keeps getting real close, but yeah, at this point we definitely want to see 875 start trying to hold a support. Still acting as resistance at the moment. Let's see. Okay, there we go, breaking through that 880. You can see right here. We break this downtrend right here. I think we're going to push to 9. Gotta get through that 890 area. A lot of selling pressure right here. Let's see if this buy-in comes through. Buy-in's coming through. Oh, we got up to 894. It still won't get there. Just get the 9. Just get the 9. That's all you gotta do. You're right there at it. My first price target is $9, and I want to see when it gets there if it's gonna break through 9 or not, but it's having such a hard time just getting to 9. I don't think it will, but it might. We'll see. Might take some more consolidation to break through 9, but if we could at least test it and I could take a peek. Let's see here. Let's see if we get a peek at 9. Ooh, a lot of sellers there at 9. I'm probably about to lock out. There was a ton of sellers there. A little pullback here. See if it can. I don't know if it's going to get back up there or not. I mean, there was a ton of sellers sitting on the ask at $9. That may cause buyers to give up. We're at least going to have a little pullback here, but we did get to 9. It was a very, very short-lived, quick little pop to 9. Let's see what we got. 3 minutes on this 5-minute candle. Gonna need a, I mean, to get through 9, this is going to need a big volume push of buyers. If it can get back up to 9. Like I said, there's so many sellers there. I'm concerned that it may not get back up to 9. I mean, that is a serious wall of sellers, but we'll see here, as it is starting to slowly kind of creep back to 9 at the moment. Consolidating right under 9. If this does break 9, I think this is going to be a pretty big break over 9. Because if enough buyers come through to get through all them sellers, any shorters will have to cover, and we could get a pretty explosive move. But that many sellers, though, that's sitting there, it's highly unlikely. So I'm trying to give it a chance, though, to see if it's going to get back to 9, if it can get back up to 9 one more time. And we can see if those sellers start getting taken out. This can keep slowly consolidating right under here. And get out all these sellers and get a big push of buyers. See, Los Sellers at 890. Let's see what we're coming back up to 9. We just hit 898. Let's see. Ooh, there's not as many sellers at 9 as there was. There's still a lot of selling pressure, but you can see getting pushed right back down again. 9 is going to be tough. We need a big spike of volume. Buying volume right now to come in and push this over 9. This is going to break right here. If not, after this, we'll probably pull all the way back down to the 9 EMA in that 840 area. See, we are starting to get volume pushing up here. We need a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Boom. Boom. We broke over 9 there really quick. Let's see if it starts moving or not, but I'm probably going to lock it out anyway, either way. Yeah, I think I'm about to lock this out, because we're not getting as big as push over 9 as I thought, so we're going to keep testing 9 unless it breaks out real hard right here in just a second. No, it's starting to come back down, and 9's still going to hold up as some resistance. A big seller sitting there at 9 again. Oh no, he got taken out quick. That's actually surprising. There's like 30,000 shares that was sitting on 9 again as resistance and popped right over. There's some buyers. Buyers are starting to come in though, as this is trying to hold 9. Let's see. I think I'm gonna lock. let's see here. I was getting ready to lock half of it out, but this looks like this may push some more here. You know, I'm going to lock half of it out anyway, and then I'll let this last 20 shares ride. I'm not going to get too greedy, because this has been a pretty decent move so far. I mean, that's $1. That's $1 move from my entry, so I got 20 shares left. I'm gonna let this last 20 shares try to ride here if this is gonna keep riding. Let's see if we can take this out of the way now. Let's see. Starting to push up a little bit. Still getting hung up at 915. If it can break over 915, good strong break. This could keep running. And it looks like it's going to. And then 925 is going to be the next little area of resistance. See some sellers there at 920. How much more are you going to give me? See, we got this little triangle here that we're fixing to either break out of or pop or drop down, one of the two. See, at 920 starting to crack down a little bit. Oh, there we go. Let's see. There we go. Look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful pop over 915 and 925 here. This may keep going. Let's see. Let's look back on this 5 minute. Where's the next resistance at? Right at 940. That's next resistance. So we'll see what this next resistance looks like. Yeah, pretty strong resistance. Pushed it right down. We are off with the 9 EMA, so if you haven't locked any profits in yet, you might want to lock some in. 9 EMA is back down at 861, but I think I'm going to lock another 10 shares out here probably. Let's see, is 920 going to start holding as some support? At least want to see 915 hold as support. Yeah, 920 starting to hold as support. A bunch of buyers came in there. Let's see, testing it still though. Ooh, big pullback there. Not surprising. So I'm thinking I'm about to go ahead and lock the rest of this out here. $9 still holding up as resistance. Trying to build support, but, well, let's see. Is 9 going to hold as support? What do we got here? We got 3.5 minutes on this candle. And 9's starting to crack. And it's struggling to hold. And 9's starting to act as resistance too. Starting to look a little sketchy because it is not getting back over 9 at the moment. There it goes. So I'm just trying to give us last 20 shares a chance, but I may lock in 10 more in a second. I'm getting, well, the 9 EMA is all the way up to 872. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's give us another minute or two here. Got that downtrend right there. We need a break. Needs to stop testing $9 as support. It was testing $9 there. We need that to hold as support. And buyers start to come in above 9. And you see we're getting out a little bit right at the moment. But we want to see it start pushing up again if it's going to start breaking. And it is starting to break this little downtrend, this little sell-off downtrend here. So we may get another move. If it can break. 915 was that earlier resistance back through here, so 915, 920. Big seller at 920. Is he gonna get taken out? Yeah, he's getting pecked at. Oh, there we go. Quick pop over 930 here. Remember, 940 is strong resistance. Where do we get up to? We got up to 935. We're through 940. So we're at 948. I'm going to lock another 10 shares out here. So I got 10 more shares left. All the way up to 950. Very nice. Very nice. You can see 940 still acting as some resistance a little bit. So I may go ahead and lock the 10 shares out possibly here. If this doesn't get another volume push real quick. We want to see it break over 940 here real soon. There was a lot of sellers again at 940, so it may not. It's got to break it soon, because if not, we're starting to curl over here. This little downtrend right here needs to break like in the next 2 minutes. And it's right at it right now. You see it push back to 940. Nope, getting rejected there. It's that 920 area trying to hold us some support. A little consolidation. Busting through that 940. Hit 950. A lot of sellers at 950. If this breaks over 950, there's a good possibility this might go to 10. breaking through 950 there, all the way up to 960. See if a buyer should be starting to get real interested in this now. And we should start seeing a lot of buying starting to come in. You can see pushing up to 970. If this can break 970 right here, I think we get up to 10. If it can't break 970 right here, then it's definitely going to pull back. Well, let's see. It's trying right here at this 970. There it goes, popping through 970. See what happens. 975, a little bit of sellers there. So it's got to pop through 975 too. Yep, there it goes. 980. Ooh, pushing through 980. Volume starting to ramp up here all the way up to 988. Let's see. We're gonna push to 10. We're gonna get this 10 push. We're right here at it. So close. Oh, pushing through 10. We're getting a little nasty here. We're getting a little frisky. Look at this. Look at this. All the way up to 1030. All the way up to 1045. Big buyer sitting at 1043. Definitely gonna probably have a little pullback after that big nasty green candle we just had, and unless more buying volume comes in. See if 10 starts holding up as support. I still got this last 10 shares I'm hanging on to. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if it's gonna get real nasty or not. I mean, that was a pretty good rip there. I'm trying to see if all eyes in the market starts coming over to this, and then we really start doing some crazy moves or not. Look here, through 1050 up to 1060. And it's getting some selling pressure there. I think I'm about to lock in this last 10 shares and call it. I'm not going to get too greedy here. Although it is about to test 1050, it looks like it still wants to try to test it. Getting on there. See here, we're testing at 1050. Oh, we're breaking through the 1050 now a little bit. Still testing though. It's going to be a tough area. I mean, we just had a pretty nasty run there. A little bit of selling starting to come in, yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and lock it out there. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't know if it'll hit 11 or not. I mean, this is a pretty big run so far. From my initial entry at $8 down here, this has been a pretty nice rip. I mean, it's $2.50 rip. So on 50 shares, I was able to make almost $70. If I'd have locked in up at 1050, it would have been 70, but that's fine. You know, it's a decent profit. I'll take it on a Monday. It's still trying to hold up. You still got a little more kind of another little flag maybe forming here, but Yeah, definitely still cash in the bank. It's green. That's all right. Okay, so there you can see it cracking down. I figured it was due for a pullback. After that big of a green candle, I mean, ripping there from 9, like this little candle was a little sketchy. And then when it finally did break over that 940, that big rip, I mean, that was a dollar rip in that one green candle. So you get a rip that big in one 5-minute candle, you gotta expect some selling and a pullback back here. But that's why I went ahead and locked out up here, because I started seeing a lot of sellers starting to come in, people locking in profits after this nice run. So very nice run, very nice run. All right, so let's take a look. What was it that you wanted to? It was EGAN. Let's see. What did you say? You said it was down to 751. Am I looking at the right stock here? EGAN. Did you mean the price was at 751, or are you saying it's down $7.51? I think that's what you're saying. It's down $77 from this big gap down that had here. That's what I'm assuming you're talking about. Held the price target to 15. I don't know nothing about this company or this stock. If you're talking long term, there's a lot of different things you got to look at. But just looking at this chart, it looks like there's pretty decent support straight across there. Kind of in that 11 area. You can see where all these different candles hit. That was old resistance, and then it turned into new support, bounced off of this line there. So you could see it start to bounce off of this. I don't know if it'll get back up to $20 anytime soon, but not a lot of volume on it though. If it cracks below this support, this line here, this 1080 to 11 line, it's gonna probably drop quite a bit more, probably down to 850. Right now, I'm not a fan of it because it is below all indicators. So right now, where it's at is very bearish. So if that area of support doesn't hold up, I would be concerned. It needs to bounce like it did back here. If I could draw my line straighter. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, so if it can bounce like it did there, then maybe. But if it cracks that, it's just going to continue to be bearish. It's kind of in a sketchy zone at the moment. Just trying to see why it dropped. Would they have bad earnings or something? See, revenues rise, top expectations, and guidance below expectations. Shares plunged. See, okay. So just bad earnings. Without knowing too much about this company, I don't know. Like I'd have to look at the earnings and see how bad they were compared to other earnings. I mean, if the earnings were not that terrible, people might still buy it and stuff. There's no dividend, so just get into stocks and investing. You're using Wealthsimple. I'm not familiar with Wealthsimple. I mean, here's the thing: the the biggest saying in the stock market is buy low, sell high. The only problem is, like with this, at this moment, you think you could be buying low because it is below all indicators and all that. But if this support doesn't hold, then you're going to be buying low into a dagger falling, and it can fall lower and lower and lower. So it's kind of a risky play. I mean, this should be some strong support. I mean, you can see it actually earlier today did bounce off of that 11, but if it keeps testing that, it'll crack. For a long-term investment, it's not something I would be excited about, especially it doesn't have a dividend either. Like I like stocks with dividends. And it's kind of a not it was a nice fluid pattern until it had this big gap down. Uh, I like more of something that looks like this, where you have pretty constant fluid motion up. And actually, let me look back on the max on EGAN. But yeah, you can see here RIPR since 2018 from 21 all the way up to 164, increasing dividend. Like that's kind of the type of charts I like to see, constant growth. So let's look at EGAN and see if it's. So I mean, kind of constant growth, but not quite the same thing as the way IIPR looks. This is kind of an iffy stock. That's what I like to see, and then you can see that with the major players too, like Apple. You can see there Apple, that constant growth, not going sideways too much, and then Apple as well pays a dividend. So that's kind of what I like. And then Amazon is probably going to be the same similar pattern. Yep, you can see there, similar pattern. That's what I kind of like to look for. Now, of course, you don't really want to buy. God, Amazon's up to 33,000. It was all the way up to 3,500. I hadn't looked at Amazon in a while. Nasty. Oh, that's the wrong stock. Tesla. That's what I was looking for. I just wanted to check on Tesla here. No? Okay. What's wrong with me? It's one of these ticker symbols. There we go. There's Tesla. So Tesla, you can kind of see similar. Not quite the same as Amazon and them. It was making a nice slow gain. Then Tesla, of course, exploded in the last 2 years. Right now, Tesla kind of consolidating. You kind of got this wedge going on here. If the market keeps going up, Tesla might have another decent pop here soon. And you can see this is the SPYs, the ETF that shows the whole overall market. And it's kind of got that same pattern of growth. Because for long-term investing, you got to think of it like this. You're putting your money in something that you want to be safe. Like I don't use a savings account. I use my portfolio as a savings account. Because 1% interest gained a year from a savings account doesn't even beat inflation. So for my portfolio, because I treat it like it's a savings account, I don't really want to be buying into too many risky stocks. I want to be buying in the stocks that are always moving up and usually paying dividends. So that way you get that constant growth. For this year, my portfolio I think will probably be around 30% uh, in gains for long term for this year. Now, of course, I did buy a bunch of stocks cheap after the COVID crash, but long term, usually like 10% a year is pretty good growth. You know, you beat inflation by about 8%. That's a pretty good way to sit your money if you can get 10% gains a year. If you average that out, that's not too bad for long term investing. Now, of course, day trading, you're looking for big, quick gains. I don't know, EGA, and I'd have to do all the value and research on the stock to really give you a good idea. The pattern's not terrible. But the stock moves very, I mean, as you can see, it is not a very consistent mover because it goes pretty straight up when it starts going, and then it sells off pretty hard afterwards. So you kind of got some rigid movements, not quite as fluent, or fluid, I should say, not fluent, as other stocks like AIPR, where it's nice. AIPR did have a little drop there, but that was COVID. AMD was another one should look similar. Yeah, AMD, see that. That's kind of the pattern you want to look for. You want your money to be safe and continually growing. All right, ATHE starting to get some attention here, coming up to this downtrend line at $3. I was not planning on making another trade. I don't think I want to make another trade, but I might. If it starts breaking $3. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna go take a quick little breather before this starts getting excited. See if this thing starts to break or not. Be right back. All right, so we are coming up to this downtrend here. Oh, let's see. I'm on a max chart. Let me go back to the year chart, the daily chart of the year. Let's see what we're at. See, I'm gonna go ahead and take this downtrend because I know let me take this downtrend off for a second so I can see what's going on. Okay. So we are way above all indicators. This is a big gap up. What this gap up so much for? Patents usually don't get that much volume or get that much excitement. Usually patents is like, whatever. Let me take that off. So I don't know. I'm not sure about that. It's gapped up quite a bit off patent news, which is not that good. Up 150% right now. I really don't like the odds of this breaking out, but there's a possibility. You can see a lot of selling here at 3. And it's breaking through 3 right now. Got room with the 350. See, still testing 3 in this downtrend. I mean, this is a very similar pattern breakout that we had on was it CBAT earlier? Yeah, very similar breakout pattern that we had on CBAT earlier when it went on that run. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a little bit different because this one's gapped up a lot more. It's up 150%, and it's only patent news. But it is trying to hold $3. We're still getting kind of hung up here. I don't think I'm going to go on this. I'm just going to watch this. We'll give the stream about 15, 20 minutes here. I'm just going to keep my one little profit for the day. Come back tomorrow. It does look like it's going to try to break, though. Still a lot of selling there. Big sellers at 310. We're slowly getting pecked at. You see that 310 is holding up at some pretty strong resistance here. See, got about 2 minutes on this 5-minute candle. And that's what I'm watching. This 5-minute candle is it's showing it's kind of getting rejected at the moment at this downtrend. Starting to break a little bit, but see a bit more big sellers there. At 3 still acting as resistance. Yeah, like I said, I don't like the probability of this breaking out. I mean, it could because of the pattern, but it's just everything else that I don't like about it. It is above all indicators, though. Starting to curl over on the 1 minute, though. You can see where it's getting rejected. Yeah, it's starting to pull back now. Getting rejected at that downtrend pretty hard, so probably not going to break out. CBAT had a big sell-off after that massive run, but that was a good play. That was a good play. Got it in, got it out. HPR selling off. HAT. CPE, this guy. It's the one I was watching in the beginning. Did break over that resistance, but not moving very fast. Very low volume on it, so nothing really there. KNDI did break over that little resistance. Starting to pop up here. But you got resistance at $8, so you have to break over 8 to really get going. But just stock can get going. It has went on pretty big moves before. As you can see from these two candles right here. Not a ton of volume on it. It's got decent volume, but not a ton. See, volume's completely died off on this thing. Below the 9. You can see ATHE pulling back there to the 9 as well. Do have pretty good support at 250. Getting building some support at this 280 area. If it can hold up this little area of support that it's trying to hold up right now, then it may still try to break, but if that cracks, then it's definitely gonna probably get ugly, and looking like it may start to crack. Pop around, see if I see anything else. PPSI getting a good little bounce today from $3 to $3.90. CBAT popping back over 9 again. Yeah, I don't see too much else going on. Let's check the SPY. How's the SPY looking? SPY had a little pullback there. This is gold. Gold had a drop down, but gold getting some movement. Silver kind of the same thing. Let's see here. ATHE still holding above that support. Oh, big seller at 290 though. And he's slowly getting taken out. He got taken out there. So this may try to break the downtrend one more time. It's got to get back up to 3. And slowly creeping up after that little sell-off. If we drop below this little support here, though, which is starting to crack, then it's not going to test. Decent sized buyer there at 284, 23,000 shares. Oh, huge buyer just came in at 285. A huge buyer. That was 200,000 shares. That one buyer at 284. That may get this going possibly. And I was just about to say, unless he was a shorter, if that was a shorter coming in. Yeah, this looks like a shorter got a hold of it. You can see that cracked right there. That support there at that 285. So probably not going to get it. It didn't look like it was going to get it up here. It had a chance to try to come back, but just getting slammed there. That's why I was pretty hesitant on that play. Alright, so I'm not seeing much else. So if anybody has any questions, suggestions, or ideas, get those in. We'll give the stream about 5 more minutes here. HPR just selling off and selling off. Nothing there. KNDI getting up to that $8 area. But it's just slowly creeping up there, so I don't know if it's gonna be able to break or not. Still, I mean, there's not a ton of volume. See, the last 2 green candles was 84,000 and 64,000, so that's pretty light volume. I don't think it's going to get it. But I don't see too much else, so. CBAT was the play there. CBAT seems to have found support at that 880 area. If that can continue to hold up, this could start moving again maybe later on in the day. Yeah, if it can hold up $8.80 and $9 for a while. Pretty decent support in those areas. But you don't want to wait and see those hold up for sure. To possibly maybe look for another entry later in the day. And you got this downtrend right here. It needs to break as well. As you can see, even though that support's trying to hold up, it's still riding straight down this downtrend. So until it breaks that, it'll just keep riding down. See, it's trying to test it right now, but there's still sellers sitting there at 9. Starting to break that downtrend a little bit. A lot of sellers at 905 though. You can see volume decreasing. Last couple of candles, really low volume. So I mean, this could possibly be a play in a little while. It could be a play again, possibly. If you can just hold up those areas. Well, alright guys, I'm going to call it a day. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. We will be back tomorrow. Good job to anybody who nailed CBAT. Getting this $2 run. Actually, it's a $2.50 run. And good job to anybody who locked in any profits at all. You guys have a great rest of your day out there. Till next time.